Hello and welcome to CHL semifinal day of decision. 4 teams start the day and only 2 will survive it. The first team to reach this year's European final will be either Lukko Rauma of Finland or Genève-Servette of Switzerland. Greetings everyone, I'm Darren Kilfera. And after last week's first leg between Geneva and Lukko finished 2-2, tonight's second leg is perfectly poised. No Swiss team has reached a CHL final before, and Servette is the first Swiss team not to lose the first leg of its semifinal by at least 2 goals. Lukko won both of their domestic games last week in overtime, and you might well wonder if 60 more minutes tonight will be enough to see one of these teams through to the final on Tuesday, the 20th of February. We could have potentially up to 10 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime tonight if scores are level after 120 minutes across the 2 legs. Penalty shootout would follow that if no goals are scored, but that is still some distance away from where we survey the ice here at the Kivikulon Arena right now. Lukko players through the smoke and fog heading out onto the ice as battle will commence in just under 5 minutes from now, with the second semifinal between Skellefteå and Vitkovice beginning 90 minutes after this one. In that other semifinal, Skellefteå 4-2 winners on the road in the first leg. They have the advantage going back to northern Sweden. And as the 2 sets of players start moving toward their respective blue lines, let's look at the lineups for Lukko. Club captain Julius Matila scored in the first leg but misses out tonight, while Jami Kranila, Jonas Jevenen, and Henry Ikonen all return to the lineup. Defenseman Tarmo Roininen is one of 9 players in this year's CHL to record at least 10 points, and he continues to wear the top scorer's jersey. Lukko's goals last Tuesday were scored by Matila and Gabriel Fontaine. Fontaine also scored Lukko's overtime winner on Friday against Tappara. As for Geneva, Julius Honka joins Daniel Winnick on the sidelines tonight and is replaced by Guillaume Maillard, but otherwise Geneva is unchanged from the first leg. Tanner Richard is now tied atop the CHL scoring chart with 12 points alongside Vitkovice's Dominic Lakatosh. Geneva's goals in the first leg were scored by the unlikely Marco Miranda and the improbable Giancarlo Shanton. The latter was Shanton's first ever senior goal, domestic or European. Lights have come up, the CHL anthem about to bellow from the ramparts of the Kivikulon Arena, and then the 2 national anthems will follow. Definite sense of expectation tonight. Players really G'd up for this. Not a full house as such at the Kivikulon Arena. That's unfortunately typical for midweek games across European hockey. But there is plenty of support for the men in the home blue jerseys with the gold trim. Fans young and old ready now for the national anthems. First the Swiss and then the Finnish. That Finnish anthem has been reverberating a lot at the end of international ice hockey tournaments in the last few years. Will a Finnish club in the form of Lukko make it through to the CHL final in February? You see our referees tonight, both from Sweden, Mikael Nord and Mikael Holm, with the Finnish linesmen Lari Nikolainen and Luka Mäkinen. In goal for Lukko, Christopher Gibson. He signed with Lukko as a free agent on December 22nd and makes his first CHL start. Daniel Lebedev played in the first leg, but isn't even on the bench tonight. It's Daniel Salonen backing Gibson up. Salonen, the 18-year-old. At the other end, Jussi Olkinuora again gets the nod ahead of Robert Meyer, the man who shut out the Vecchia Lakers in the 2018 final for Jyp Jyväskylä, wants to reach his second career CHL final. Meyer did play Saturday against Biel-Bienne in domestic action in Switzerland. Still recovering from concussion he received when being hit by a puck back on the 8th of December. You see Tommy Lemsa, his first season with Lukko Rauma, could lead to that European final. And Jan Kaju, the reigning National League head coach of the year, voted for by the players last year when Geneva went all the way to win their first ever Swiss National League title. Sami Vatsanen, one of several Finnish players back in Finland tonight with Genève-Servette. Missed out both domestic games at the weekend, but he's fighting fit and ready to go. Signed a one-year contract extension on the 29th of November. The 32-year-old will be in Geneva next year. And there is Gabriel Fontaine, mentioned the former New York Rangers draft pick. Scored in the first leg against Geneva, scored in the first leg of the quarterfinal against Pardubice as well. Can he tickle the twine again, as he did on Friday in that 3-2 overtime win at home to the Finnish second-place team now, Tappara Tampere. He defeated the first-place team, Ilves, on Wednesday. They have very good form behind them. Can they carry it through against the Swiss? Puck is dropped. We are underway. And the draw eventually pinched. Played over to Josh Brook, and he returns the favor to Tarmo Roininen. Brook, the Canadian defenseman, former second-round draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens. Move forward, the puck fired in front, and Olkinuora forced to make the first save. Shot taken by Fontaine, the Montreal native. Fontaine, his second year in Europe. He played 5 years in the American Hockey League before coming across to Rauma, this pretty small city, or even large town you might call it, near the west coast, the Baltic coast of Finland. As Tanner Richard to take the draw here against Fontaine. Richard on the third forward line, second forward line I should say, on the team sheet, alongside Marco Miranda and Noah Rod, as the puck fired in from the point and saved once again by Olkinuora. That taken by Roininen. 4 games played with the New York Rangers for Roininen back in the COVID-affected 2020-2021 season. His second season with Lukko. He did play CHL hockey with TPS Turku quite a few years ago now. As Richard takes the outlet pass, plays to the front of the net, nearly spilled by Gibson, but he hangs on at the second attempt. So Christopher Gibson, who last season was called up by the Seattle Kraken but never saw action. Spent most of the season at Coachella Valley, the AHL farm club of Seattle. He was born in Karkila in southwestern Finland. His father was an artist and a kickboxer from St. Lucia in the Caribbean. His mother is Finnish. Hence the name, which does not sound very Finnish. As that puck played over the glass and out of play, but it was touched, so no delay of game call against Josh Juris. Juris alongside Sakari Manninen and Teemu Hartikainen, the big Finnish guns for Geneva, along with Valtteri Filppula, who's on the first line with Marc-Antoine Pouliot and Vincent Prattland tonight. Kranila loses that draw for Lukko. Trying to get it back, play to the point. Matthew Abts toward the front of the net, but that's Simon Lecout in the way. He gets taken down, and the first penalty of the game coming up against Lukko. And I think it is Kranila guilty of the trip. Slowly to the penalty box. Officially a cross check, and you can see it was a bump to the back of Lecout. It wasn't much. The crowd, I think, seeing the replay are not happy about it. So Kranila, who seeing his first CHL action since the round of 16 second leg against Innsbruck. First penalty conceded, but Lukko with the early clearance. Elkanora behind his net, and Geneva will skate forward. In left wing is Juris. Given away and cleared. Backhand all the way to Elkanora again, and not a great pass. Geneva collects, and Hartikainen turns backwards. Miscontrolled slightly by Manninen, and he will try to bring forward. Hits Filppula. 1:17 left on the penalty to Kranila. Geneva able to finally set up on the perimeter. Here's Manninen tiptoeing in. Shot deflected. Reverts to Vatanen at the point. Now Manninen cross ice. Not cleanly received along the far boards. Juris the touch pass back out. Vatanen across. That attempt to get to the near side of the rink, diverted away from Manninen, who quickly comes right back in. Tangle of bodies far side. Hartikainen was supposed to be near to the front of the net as he collects now behind the cage. Manninen miscontrols again. A little bit sloppy here from Genève-Servette, and Lukko clears down the ice. Lukko, an average penalty killing team. Geneva struggled in European action with the extra skater, but pretty good in Swiss domestic play. Only 15 seconds left here as Lecout trying to play in deep. Now maneuvered back to the point, and Tim Berni cross to the far point. Lecout shoots, deflected. Power play is now over. We skate five aside once again. So Berni just does hold at the point. Fired toward the net by Marc-Antoine Pouliot. But Lukko able to poke out the center with just over 3 minutes gone in the first. Not many power plays in the first leg between these sides. Lukko 0 for 2, Geneva 0 for 1 in total at Les Vernets in French-speaking Switzerland. A cross by Alessio Bertaggia. Long clearance will go for icing. And we get a whistle. As you see, Kalle Ervasti, the 20-year-old defenseman. Johnny missed out. Actually, he's played in every single game in the CHL this year for Lukko. Yet to record a point, Ervasti. Hartikainen taking the draw for Lukko, but it's won by Geneva. Good job there by Christophe Cavalieri. Just slid on by Bertaggia towards Cavalieri. Elliot Berton near side. Played toward the front of the net by Berton. Coming back to the point, Roger Caro. Geneva maneuvering. Played toward the net, and Gibson saw it flop down right in front of him. Back behind his net goes Caro in his fourth year with Genève-Servette after coming across from ZSC Zurich. Near side, in goes Hartikainen, looking to center, but came below the goal line. Braden Burke back, and now we get another whistle. So Braden Burke turned 27 on New Year's Day. Played in the Swiss playoffs last year, actually, with EHC Visp. Did Burke. That was after playing with the Manitoba Moose in the American Hockey League. And he spent the majority of his pro career in Semuli Pipanen. Puck taken away by Juris. Juris in front of the tip, and Gibson just did get the left pad in the way. And quick counter now for Lukko. Opportunity here. Okanora standing firm. Drive up the right wing by Steven Jandrick, who scored 2 goals on Wednesday against Ilves, the now top team in the Finnish Liga, in that 3-2 road overtime victory for Lukko. Nearly another goal there, off of what was a pretty decent tip attempt by Josh Juris at the other end. Here's Linus Newman out through center, but he's bumped away from the puck. And Newman all the way back, alongside the 2 Vesterholm twins tonight. Tommy Lems's team sheet, the former CHL winners with Philippa Gothenburg, Pontus, and Patrick Vesterholm back in 2019. As Almery just holds and waits. Just under 6 minutes gone now in the opening period. Honors even so far, but can that change? Here's Abt, drops off. Okanora! Look at that save to deny Lenny Hämäläinen. Played back by Ikonen, and from no more than 8 feet out. Shot taken, Okanora with the glove save. Such confidence-boosting shot stops there for a goaltender like Okanora. Might get another chance here, and they score! That one whistled past Okanora by Jakob Stenqvist. His first career CHL goal puts Lukko in front. The 25-year-old former Dallas Stars draft pick in the NHL, right off the clean face-off win. Okanora leaning the wrong way. And Stenqvist, who was in the KHL with Severstal Cherepovets until the Russian invasion of Ukraine sent so many foreign players spinning out of Russia. Stenqvist in Sweden last year, his home country with Timroa, across to Lukko this year, and that's a very rare goal for him. Leads the team in the Finnish Liga with 21 assists. But striking the first blow here, and edging Lukko in front, 3-2 on aggregate. Stenqvist from Ikonen at exactly 6 minutes. Time of the opening goal. Vatanen dispossessed. Lukko will try again. Burke holds. Back to the point, but Geneva able to get the puck down into the Lukko zone. So Geneva must play from behind, coming off of a scoreless weekend. They lost 3-0 at home to EV Zug, and then 4-0 on the road at Bulbien. I think Jan Kaju was resting some of his players like Vatanen for the CHL semifinals. Bertagia passes wide of Berton. And now Roinanen picks up the pieces and will skate out to center. Near side, forward from Sebastian Repo, the captain tonight for Lukko, as Okanora gets away with some rather casual stick handling. Touched on by Noah Rod, the Geneva captain, but now the other way, the shot taken and held as Harri Kainalainen pulled the trigger. It might just have been going wide of the near post. And Okanora making the stop.
What are you crying about? I barely touched you. I was standing beside you. What's your problem? Are you okay? Do you need an ambulance?
Questions being asked by Tanner Richard. As you see this burst by Kainalainen. Might just have been going into the pipe. And Okanora making the stop. Power break at the Kivakulan Arena. Lukko in front 1-0 over Genève-Servette.
Kannustan nyt suosikin joukkuetta CHL Sämppiläs kannaa kuulla koodi mediakuutilta. Selviä ja hyvällä onnella saa suosi mediakuutilta. Kaikki osallistujien kesken arvotaan Game Born pelin aikaa.
Face-off draw coming up to the left of UC Okanora, as he likes to be known. Juho, his given name. As Marco Miranda lost the handle of the puck. Lukko doing likewise, and back goes Arno Jacquemet. Played in deep, bouncing away from Apt. Lukko. Forward they come again. Montes Vesterholm held up. Tried wanting a whistle against Geneva. Back to the point, now near side Stenqvist, the goal scorer turning away. Played in deep and rescued by Vatanen. 11.5 minutes left in period number 1 as Valtteri Filppula had his steam through center. Gains the line, drops off at the point for Praplan. Wound around for the pinching Vatanen. Behind the net, Praplan again. Off to Filppula. Back at the point. Opportunity knocking, but the shot deflected. Still retrieved by Chanton. Couldn't possibly score another goal tonight, could Giancarlo Chanton, could he? Opportunity here for Carter. He missed the target. Defenseman in off the blue line. Hamalainen far corner. Stood up and Filppula tried to play out. Filppula sneaks his way below the goal line. Held up by Ikonen. Good job by Filppula, turns around. Praplan trying to offer support. Good shift here for the Eagles, as the visitors are known here. Lukko now the lofted bouncing clearance, fetched by Tim Berni. Berni, the former Columbus Blue Jacket in the NHL. Up to Artikainen in left wing. Great bit of control there, not to any great effect. Artikainen back from Manninen. Turn to the point, but nobody there. And racing across. There's Maillard, and then lost the puck. Chance here for Lukko. Shot fired wide of the target, though. Played back to the point by Lukko. There's Ervesti. Banks it in off the back of the net. Repo in deep for Lukko Rauma. Again at the point, Ervesti across to Almari. And still Geneva can't quite clear. Good attack zone possession time here for the hosts. Lukko literally means lock in Finnish. Right now, Finnish club trying to lock the puck up at this end of the ice. Here's Lukko. Dishes across, then another near interception. Mannin just about bludgeons his way to center. You see Lukko out shooting Geneva 6-3 so far. And they might try their luck again. Another effort. They score again! Blitz right past Okanora. The shot taken by Braden Burke. Lukko 2-0 in front. Burke had 2 goals in the regular season matchup of these two sides back on the 17th of October, right here in the Kivakulan Arena there. Not sure if that puck took a slight deflection, but Okanora statuesque at the top of his crease. Looked like it might have fluttered a touch. And Burke, what a moment for him. The Edmonton-born Canadian scores his 6th CHL goal of the season. He also lit the lamp on Friday against the former CHL champions, Tampere. Lukko had a very difficult domestic schedule last week. They traveled to Ilves the day after the first leg in Geneva. Won that game on the road regardless. Then 2 days later, the win over Tampere. So they haven't played since Friday, a day more rest than Genève-Servette. And Burke capitalizing alongside Stenqvist, the 2 goal scorers for Lukko. And is Jan Kaju already starting to worry, especially given his team's lack of offensive spark in the Swiss National League at the weekend. From the point, Jacquemet deflected, or rather Chanton, beg your pardon. Trying to contribute offensively again. Puck just slid wide of the net, picked up by Richard. Under 8 minutes left in the first. Is that puck into the glove of Gibson? Easy stop for Christopher Gibson. And we get another whistle. Clean sight line there for Gibson. Saw it all the way. And everything looking pretty tidy for Lukko as we break with the score 2-0 for the home team.
You want to see us supporting on your favorite team in the CHL? Simply snap the QR code and snap a selfie with some luck. See your photo on the big screen. All entries put you in for just.
It's gonna be more simple in our zone. Chip out, chip in, let's go. Kuka sanoo? Kuka kysyy? Äsken tuli se tyttöralli.
When Lukko Rauma won at Ilves last Wednesday, they rallied from a 2-0 deficit. That is the task facing the Eagles of Genève-Servette here in Finland tonight, as the puck played toward the net by Tim Berni, the defenseman. No trouble for Gibson there. And Lukko with the puck. Taken away though behind the net. Battle for it, won by Filppula. Counter the shot fake across to Berni. Wrists toward the front of the net, but that was deflected over the rather short glass at each end of the ice, and not a play for a draw adjacent to Gibson. Cropland it was, trying to get a touch in front of the net. It's just the third CHL season for Genève-Servette. They lost on penalty shots in the round of 16 in the very first CHL back in 2014. Finished third in their three-team group the following season, behind Storhamar Hamar and Sparta Prague. As Gibson into another glove save situation. They did qualify for what would have been the 2020 CHL season in Geneva, but that competition canceled for COVID-related reasons. As I'm sure you can recall that time. Thankfully, in our rearview mirrors, puck played from the right point, but diverted down the ice by Pontus Westerholm of Lukko Rauma. Lukko is their fifth European campaign as we get another whistle. Best performance semi-finalists back in 2015-2016. Kärpät Oulu defeated them 5-4 on aggregate before going on to lose in northern Finland in the final to Frölunda Gothenburg, their first CHL crown of their four. Guaranteed to have a new European champion this season. Can Geneva become that first Swiss team ever to reach a CHL final? Three previous teams to make it this far: Davos in 2016, Fribourg in 2017, and Zug just last season. Both Davos and Fribourg got hammered by Frölunda in their first leg semi-final games, and they're not really in contention in the second legs. Zug lost the first leg last year 2-0 to Tappara Tampere, who went on to make it through to the final, which they won in northern Sweden at Luleå. That is Christophe Cavalieri going backwards, and there's Chanton. Don't have to be in any great hurry, Geneva, although that icing infraction not particularly good to see for Jan Kaju and his assistant coaches. What about Franzen on the right there, the Swede, and Jörg Trey, the Frenchman. Not sure if Sami Vatanen is at 100% coming into this game. Mentioned he missed both domestic games at the weekend. Backtracking defensively here alongside Bernie at the moment. Geneva works the puck onto the red line, played around and in by Hartikainen. Juris couldn't latch on cleanly. Hartikainen flinging his muscular frame around. Played back toward the point, but Vatanen again miscontrolling. And then Vatanen went sprawling, but play continues as Josh Brooks cross-ice pass to Burke, who takes a tumble. And there's going to be a tripping call here against Genève-Servette, their first minor penalty of the night. So, first power play for Lukko. See Vatanen, after the hit by Hartikainen was clean, the trip by Vatanen was not. Vatanen did miss the 2 games at the weekend with an illness, by the way, which I think Roger Kerrer also was suffering from. Kerrer missing both games as well, and it's now Julius Honka, the on-loan player from SC Bern for Geneva, who It's got the sickness bug. Geneva's penalty kill this season has been excellent, both at home and abroad. In fact, shorthanded the chance here, maybe. The shot taken, but missed by Noah Rod. Just a couple of shorthanded goals in the National League for Genève-Servette this season. Remember, a shorty here would end the power play as Stenquist went down at the line. Crowd wanting another penalty against the Eagles, but instead Stenquist has to fetch. Puck dumped in and played onward by Okanora rather slowly. Geneva saucers all the way down again to Gibson. And that looks suspiciously like too many men on the ice, but get away with it. Stenquist turns back across to Burke. 58 seconds remaining in the power play, 4 minutes left in the first. It's Fontaine leaves behind the net. Aggressive forechecking from Geneva. Might pay off. They win the puck back. Miranda, pass didn't reach him. And still, Bernie tying things up momentarily. Down to half a minute of 5-on-4 time to go for Lukko. Cross-ice pass eventually reaches Järvinen, but taken away once more, and Bertagia forging forward. That's a better entry pass. The shot taken by Kranila. But again, Geneva with puck possession, able to play keep away. Not that cleverly done to Almery, but the power play almost over. And out of the sin bin comes Vatanen with 2:59 to go in the first. Morale boosting penalty kill there for Genève-Servette. Chanton banks forward. Trying to come through center was Praplan, but he was dispossessed. Chanton to Vatanen. He was bumped in deep by Newman of Lukko. Vatanen now with some space. Picks his pass wisely, and Geneva comes forward. This is Praplan. Pass beyond Piipanen. Fish to the point, and Chanton. Back to Filppula, who again unable to gather perfectly cleanly. Praplan, Hartikainen. Off to Filppula with the lines a little bit scrambled here for Geneva. Long effort, banked off the backboards. Into the point, Vatanen looks to pass in, and Praplan denied twice by Gibson. Lukko happy to just clear down into the Geneva zone. 2 shots in quick succession for Praplan as now Rod shoots. Toe save made by Gibson there. Left skate in the way. Geneva trying to get one back on the board here before the end of this first period. Through center comes Brook. Played across, but Repo forced in deep below the goal line. And now coming away with the puck is Bernie. Up to Rod left wing. Got numbers here. They work it nicely. Miranda trying to pass in front. The puck is still loose, and Gibson the save, point blank. Geneva knocking ever louder on the Lukko Rauma door. Into the final minute of the first now, and a little shimmy by Vatanen. Tries to drag forward, but gives away. Roinanen can't clear the zone. Hartikainen does well. Piipanen back, he goes down. Manninen trying to hold his ground in the corner. Fontaine giving him the business. Lukko just about out to center. Crowd wanting another call with 20 seconds left. Instead, Geneva try their luck offensively again as Juris pulls up at the line. Puck given away with 8 seconds left. And the crowd cheering the end of the opening 20 minutes. A very productive first period for Lukko. Goals by Jakob Stenqvist at 6 minutes of the first, followed by Braden Burke at 11:15. Assist on the second goal to Josh Brook, by the way.
It's like the guy with the air.
And Genève-Servette with a big mountain to climb on the road in Finland in this Champions Hockey League semifinal.
Calm down, that guy. Yeah.
A late little chat here between Mikael Nord and Tommy Lemsa.
Then he's talked in the team. That's what I want to know.
Nothing serious there. We will break for the first intermission. Lukko Rauma 40 minutes away potentially from their first European final. They lead Genève-Servette 2-0 on the night and 4-2 on aggregate. Jussi Olkinuora leading the Genève-Servette skaters out onto the ice for the start of the second period at the Kivikulon Arena in Rauma. But the Eagles rocked back to earth by a couple of mid-range shots scored by Jakob Stenqvist and Braden Burke of Lukko Rauma in that first period. Not a lot of shots on goal so far. 11 saves for Christopher Gibson at the other end against only 5 saves for Olkinuora. But Genève-Servette, their scoreless streak continuing. You see Sami Vatanen, 10 CHL points on the season for him. Dominic Lakatosh, Tanner Richard of Vitkovica and Genève-Servette coming into tonight's joint top of the CHL scoring standings this year, with Linus Lindström of Skellefteå among those on 11 points, the only player who can still contribute to his points tally this season among those on 11 points. And then Roinanen and Vatanen among those on 10 points. And Vatanen would dearly love to get some points to help his team redress this 2-0 deficit they face. With 40 minutes left, 4-2 on aggregate, the score in Lukko Rauma's favor. Fontaine against Pouliot, the two French Canadians facing off, and it's won by Geneva. And forward, right wing comes Filppula. Filppula towards Pouliot. Get to it far side at the point. Wild shot, but first on the scene, Filppula again. Trying to get around Roinanen. Played to the front of the net, and Gibson makes the stop and gives no rebound. Sami Vatanen, the two-time Finnish Olympian, played in the Best on Best tournament back in 2014. As well as in Beijing, winning the gold medal in 2022. Puck comes near corner. Lukko taking possession through Roinanen, and he clears. Vatanen, two-time best Liga defenseman, comes back to the point and played toward the net, but Lukko, the long pass forward, a chance here, but no shot released in the end by Tuukka Tieksula. Tieksula maneuvering well, and the puck goes below the goal line. So Tieksula alongside Burke and Fontaine, the player not yet heard from really tonight for Lukko in this top forward combination. Had a chance to, if not entirely put this semifinal beyond Geneva, it would have really put Lukko with 1 foot in the final. Behind the nets, Kara slowed up. The turnaround effort by Burke, not really getting through to Olkinuora there. Saved at the point by Apt. Rolls around far corner. Pouliot administers a hit. From the point, Olkinuora got to his knees and straight back up. And a Geneva player down on the ice. Play continues. It's Praplan slow to get up. The puck trickles out, and Apt back into his own zone. Praplan very slow to the bench, took a hit at the red line on his way to the Geneva sideline. On and around from Repo, but stoppered by Olkinuora. Now Rod near side. Goes backwards, and the flip clearance gets out beyond the red line. And now Richard trying to go solo. Waits for support and finds it. Lacoute shoots! A save made off the body of Gibson. And Ervesti across to Almari. Lukko getting the better of the early exchanges here in the second period, but maybe Geneva a chance here. The shot just going wide from the late arriving Manninen. Well, that really was a half-decent chance for Geneva to get on the board here tonight as Martikainen collapsed in the corner. Kauer just about, Vatanen almost swallowed up, but he backtracks well. And now Juris, drive forward himself. Couldn't get beyond the top of the face-off rings. And there's Burke toward the cage. Did not get through to Okanora. And there's Tiexula again lurking in front. Puck stolen by Fontaine. And he'll go to the bench for a change with 16-13 left in the middle period. Battling work by Ikonen. Support the shot into the body of Okanora by Hämäläinen. Hämäläinen, who's played 2/3 of his games this season with Lukko's under-20 club. No points either in the CHL or the Finnish Liga. As you see the Tiexula chance again, he just couldn't release. Hounded well by the back-checking Berni. Did just enough to hook Tiexula away from the net without getting whistled for a penalty, and potential penalty shot even. As Geneva will look to break forward now. Give and go by Praplin. Can't carry it onward, and Lukko will look to strike the other way. And now Geneva all the way down, but icing had been waved off, so Brook back to gather. Between the legs from Newman is Kainulainen. Waiting at the point, Roininen. Pushes in deep. And it's Pontus Westerholm behind the net, but he was dispossessed by Pouliot. Lofted puck, and it should get to Gibson first instead of the onrushing Filppula. Hämäläinen looking to penetrate, but Okanora just touches to the corner. Richard well done, but would have been delayed offside, and now we do get the whistle. As Richard's line mates just failed to communicate one another. I think it was Rod and Miranda. The longer Geneva goes without a goal tonight, the more they will feel the frustration of not having scored at all in domestic action at the weekend. Bertagia and Hämäläinen needing to now be talked to and separated. Geneva down to 8th place in the Swiss National League. Same spot occupied by Lukko at the moment, despite their 3-game win streak they're currently on. As Apt offside with player just forced in on the opposite wing ahead of Matthew Apt, the Leduc, Alberta native of Edmonton's southern suburbs, or exurbs, not near the airport. Services Edmonton. His brother Jordan plays in the British League with Guildford, the EIHL. Belfast Giants, the British representatives in this competition this season, but despite a pretty decent performance, they failed to get out of the regular season and into the playoffs. In fact, they were the first team out, finishing 17th in 24-team competition this year. And that will go for icing as the touch by Rod from the wrong side of the red line. Lukko third in the regular season with 15 points out of 18. Geneva with 11 points, finishing 7th ahead of the Pelicans and Vitkovica in goal difference.
Stay out. Here we go. Yellow your stick. Go.
Draw won by Lukko, but nicely retrieved. A situation by Geneva. They come forward now. Almery up to Repo, bangs forward. Vatanen very coolly done at his own line. He absorbs a big hit, loses his helmet. He'll have to depart quickly. Coming together below the net, and opportunity for Hartikainen. Instead, the other way, Lukko through Repo. His shot trickles wide of Okanora. Hartikainen across to Juris, onside with that helmet of Vatanen. Now on top of the face-off rings. Lukko looking to counter. But good job by Kerr to force Tiexula back to center ice. Bernie shuffles along near wall to Elliot Berton. Gets around Burke, does Berton. Nicely done. He continues to barrel forward up the right wing. Goes down, but support the attempted wraparound from Cavallari. Lukko deals with it and clears, although that's going to go for icing. We are due a power break, but that won't come until the next whistle without an icing infraction. Without a goal being scored. You see the hit by Repo into Vatanen. Repo, the leading scorer for Lukko this season in domestic action with 17 goals, 17 assists in 37 games played. Represented Finland at the Karjala Cup, the Euro Hockey Tour event earlier this season. As nicely done by Pouliot. Filppula just about helping keep the puck in. Lukko now able to break out to their own line. Pass a little bit beyond Tiexula. Burke reaching but not getting to it, and that's might work out well. Jacquemin drops off, the defenseman goes to the net. The shot from the sharp angle, saved and held once again by Christopher Gibson. So we will now take a break at the Kivikulon Arena in Rauma. It's still Lukko 2, Genève-Servette nothing on the night. Lukko up 4-2 on aggregate.
Kaikkien osallistujien kesken arvotaan ei vuoropelipaikkaa.
Let's go, Richie. Let's fucking go. Win that face off, I can bring it to the net, huh? Riley, you guys are ready.
You see Christopher Gibson a long way to skate back between the pipes at Lukko's end of the ice here in the second period.
Yes. Good.
15 saves out of 15 on the night so far for Gibson. Might be tested again here off the face-off draw, but it did not get through from Shanton to the net. Good interception, Vatanen, but had to wait at the line and gave the puck right back to Roinanen. Richard dishes out. Again to Roinanen, and he just bangs in deep. Olkanora slowly back into his crease. The puck came in front, and Olkanora had to make a decent stop on the doorstep from Linus Newman. All came from that sloppy interchange there with Vatanen. And Olkanora, Newman getting a decent look at the net. Olkanora got back between the pipes just in time. As Repo tries to go across to Piipinen. Puck taken by Tim Berni, and Geneva clears. Jandrik doing well through center. Kara absorbs a crunching hit. And here's Hartikainen for the Eagles. Looking to the far side of the ice, instead return near boards. Hartikainen just getting a touch, but Lukko maneuvering out through center now. Good pass across from Repo. The shot taken, but Olkanora was well positioned in the shooting lane of Jakob Stenqvist. Jandrik now cutting in front, and the puck is beneath. You see Olkanora in the end, so we get a whistle. Repo found the wide open Stenqvist, and see he whiffed on the first attempt. Did not get a second, but Jandrik, good firm defending by Juris, the forward backtracking, making sure that Jandrik did not have an unobstructed route to the net. Well worked out through center and beyond, but Filppula lost out to Brook. And Brook back to Abt. And now up to Burke. Cross ice pass beyond Gabriel Fontaine as we approach the halfway mark of the second period. Can Geneva find the goals they need to stay alive in this season's Champions Hockey League? That will go for icing against Lukko Rauma. The president of Finland, Sauli Niinistö, is a Lukko fan. It's well known across the country. Rauma has the smallest population of every Liga city, but proportionately they have the highest attendance, despite the fact this building only holds 4,500 fans at full capacity. As the home fans see their team win another face-off draw. Tiexula hits. Vatanen trying to dish out as he has received earlier in this game, as the puck off the skate of Abt. Diverted there by Manninen. And a huge hit on Brook. Gobbled up by Hartikainen. I think it looked more physical than it actually was, with Hartikainen winding up on top of a Lukko player. Whipped cross-ice pass by Hartikainen doesn't come off. And Lukko still with that 2-goal advantage. Gives them a little bit of breathing space, at least mentally, in this game. You see there's the hit. That's clean enough, I think, by the 233-pound Teemu Hartikainen, former Edmonton Oiler who had the most points by a foreigner in the KHL in the 2020-2021 season, when he was with Salavet Ylä Bufa, the longtime club that he played for, again prior to the unfortunate events involving Russia and Ukraine. talent pool outside of the KHL and European hockey has become larger thanks to what has happened in recent years. As Richard trying to elude his marker, that was Peepinen. There's cross ice and in front. Did not reach Rod from Bernie. And Kehrer goes back. Geneva still looking for their first goal since the first leg last Tuesday, including their domestic games at the weekend. LeCoute winds and fires, but Gibson along the ice with that glove. Again, not a save as such, the puck going well wide of the net, but he's in good form, Gibson. Maybe he wasn't going that far wide of the net. I think it would have just missed anyway, but Gibson, who played a total of 16 games in the National Hockey League across 5 different teams. Toronto Maple Leafs, the New York Islanders, Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, and most recently the Seattle Kraken. He was a second-round draft pick of the LA Kings back in 2011. 31 years of age, making his European debut tonight, at least as far as the Champions Hockey League is concerned. Give and go with Pouliot. He will try to test Gibson, but that puck ricocheting to the corner. And then in front, point blank stop made again by Gibson. This time to deny the defenseman, Arnaud Jacquemet. Geneva has had passages in this game where they've seen the better team as Pouliot centering efforts all the way across to Praplan and touched at the point, but Lukko able to clear. Thing is, Geneva has to convert their advantage into goals. Well, it's ultimately a fruitless exercise as twisting near side. Back to Berton, who shoots. Didn't quite get to Gibson, I don't think. Berton all over the ice now. Back to Chanton, across to Vatanen. His wrister gloved again by Gibson. Time for another stoppage in Rauma. Lukko still 2-0 up on the night. Getting ever closer to their first CHL final.
Let's shift, eh? We got a chance to shoot, eh? Take your responsibilities, everyone, eh? Let's go.
Hey, boys, we're good. Just breathe. One play at a time. Keep it simple.
We want to see your favorite team in the CHL. Simply scan the QR code, snap a selfie, and leave some rock. See your photo on the big screen.
A chance for Arnaud Jacquemet right in front of Christopher Gibson's net. If anything, he might have been a little bit too close in. Effectively narrowing his own angle down.
Let's go.
But Gibson still up to the task.
Here we go.
Again, it was Daniel Lebedev who made 21 saves on 23 Geneva shots in the first leg. And he's not even on the bench for Lukko tonight, with Daniel Salonen backing up Gibson. What a story it would be if the 17-year-old were to get called into action, but should be Gibson's game from start to finish, barring injury. As Ervasti swivels neatly. Lukko only clears down to Vatanen. 9 years in the National Hockey League for Sami Vatanen, more than 500 games, including the playoffs. Anaheim, New Jersey, Carolina, and Dallas. Bertagia trying to force a mistake. Ervesti does not make one. Lukko touched on towards Fontaine. Can't latch on, he goes down. No penalty called. See Geneva with a higher expected goals tally in this game. Out shooting Lukko 19-11. But they have yet to find a way to get the puck into the net, and a chance here with Okanora all over the place. Puck comes back to Stenqvist, who shoots. And then we get a whistle with the puck going over the glass and out of play. Stenqvist, who opened the scoring tonight. You see the initial effort from Jonas Järvinen. It pinballed around away from Ikonen, who, did he have his stick chopped out of his hands there by Juris. Eventually, Stenqvist maneuvering to get a shot quite nicely and then just deflected out of the way. So no penalty against Geneva. And we will have to do this face-off all over again.
Huh? Loud whistle? Sorry.
Richard complaining about the whistle from Luka Mäkinen and how close it was to his eardrums. Whistles have to be so shrill to be heard over loud and boisterous crowds, of course. Juris just able to poke out to the red line. Okanora into the trapezoid with 5:18 left in period number 2. This is good tape-to-tape passing for Geneva. Juris leaves at the line. Return pass not gathered cleanly. One back by Geneva. Played toward the slot area. Dragged wide by Carrer. Drops off of Richard. He waits. Hits Noah Rod. Rod to the front of the net. And then miscontrolled at the point by Bernie. Richard, that was careless, but able to retrieve the situation. Now the giveaway, opportunity knocking for Lukko, but the puck comes back to Praplan. He finds Pouliot, who touches and goes, but is bumped down. Still just the one penalty against each team tonight. 2 unsuccessful power plays. It has been a clean 2-legged series. So that puck beyond Repo. And icing will be the call. Repo thinking he was close enough to negate the potential icing, but Jacques May backtracking swiftly gets the call for the Eagles. Geneva had been on a 4-game domestic winning streak until crashing and burning on Friday against Zug and on Saturday against Biel.
Let's go. Go, yo.
The last thing they wanted was to come up against a hot goalie tonight, and Gibson appears to be at the peak of his powers, at least for now. That draw pinched by Fontaine. He was bumped. But forward comes Jandrik. Releases to Fontaine. He tried to dish across for Repo. Didn't quite get there. Roinen, the defenseman, touches forward. Wearing the top scorer's jersey, of course. That was well done by Geneva. Kicked forward to stay onside with Pouliot now going in. But return, and that wasn't a good pass. The opportunity was starting to open up there as Hartikainen spins around. Some Keystone Cop skating at times for Geneva in this game. And that might work out if it gets across on the doorstep. They score! It's Filppula! And it's just what Genève-Servette needed. They are back within 1 in Rauma. Really cleverly worked in deep. It's the second CHL goal for Valtteri Filppula. And the assist from Hartikainen. Chef's kiss right there, perfectly weighted. Filppula had little to do. That's magnificent. So the Finnish connection in Finland for Genève-Servette. Valtteri Filppula, who has won Stanley Cup trophy, World Championship gold, and Olympic gold. Could he potentially add the CHL trophy and a gold medal in February to his impressive trophy cabinet? Of course, won the Swiss National League last year with most of the players involved in this game here tonight for Genève-Servette. And again, it was the little bit of loft on the pass from Hartikainen, which landed perfectly for Filppula to slot it home. Took a moment of magic to beat Christopher Gibson tonight. But will that help Geneva rally as the third period begins to draw near? Hartikainen staying out of the way well there as he was hopping in the neutral zone. Pass far side might pay off, and the puck off the side of the net. And eventually out of play with Bertagia suddenly bursting up the left wing. Sharp angle. Did it come off the skate of Gibson there? We'll see it from this angle. Hard to say. Certainly did hit the side of the net. Referees deciding there was contact from Gibson, so the draw stays here. The assist credited at the moment to Filppula is credited to Arno Jacquemet. We know that Hartikainen was the primary helper. Suddenly Geneva does have a head of steam. Puck back to the point. Passed around on the doorstep. In front. How did they not score there? Through Vatanen. Seemed to have an empty net to shoot at. He'll try again, and he does score now! My goodness, Sami Vatanen, another Finnish player for Genève-Servette, beating Gibson, and it's 2-2. A broad smile for Vatanen. The first chance went begging, but when he saw a second opportunity, he took another pass from Hartikainen, and this time Gibson might feel he could and should have done better. But Vatanen picking his spot near post, and suddenly the 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. Genève-Servette very much back in business with 22 minutes remaining in this CHL semifinal. They've changed the first goal, Filppula from Hartikainen and Lukko at 16:49. And really it was barely a minute between the 2 goals. Vatanen from Hartikainen. It's a brand new CHL semifinal, with the other semifinal just about to start between Vikivica and Skellefteå. Skellefteå 4-2 up on aggregate. And after the first leg, it was 4-2 on aggregate here just a couple of minutes ago. But now it's 4-4 as Abt into the corner with 1:17 left in the second. To the left point, Kainalainen. Cross-ice pass, and puck came toward the left face-off ring, but just pushed out of harm's way as Abt again at the point. Cross to Stenqvist, and that did not beat Okanora. Stenqvist opened the scoring. Right now, Geneva, the floodgates beginning to open. The two goals coming only 58 seconds apart. Again, Filppula from Hartikainen and Lekut, Vatanen from Manninen. There you see the deflection up over the glass and out of play. Face-off draw won by Filppula, but pinched by Fontaine. Tried to worm his way behind the net, but have to go back to the point. Stenquist, that was deflected, and Olkinuora did well to gather. 44.2 seconds left on the clock. See the downward tip by Braden Burke, looking for his second goal of the night. Olkinuora stayed with it. Sometimes you get those change-ups coming at the goaltender slower than he's expecting. And they can cause all sorts of problems as Burke leaves the puck. Fontaine outfoxed that time by Filppula, but Lukko with the puck just away from Tiexula. Burke tried to go between his legs. 27 seconds left in the second. This third period is not going to be one to miss. Chance to win some European silverware for both of these teams as Fontaine across looking for Burke. Comes back in deep with 8 seconds to go. No real urgency, it appears, as Vatanen holds in the corner. And that will be it for a huge second period for Genève-Servette. They huffed and puffed and eventually blew Christopher Gibson's door down. Filppula at 16:49, Vatanen at 17:47, bringing Geneva back even in this Champions Hockey League semifinal. 2-2 on the night, 4-4 on aggregate. Don't go anywhere. The third period to come from the Kivakulan Arena. For now, we will break for the second intermission.
Genève-Servette, first goal, scored by number 51.
Referees and players alike getting high fives from the crowd at the Kivakulan Arena. It has been a game of two halves. First period controlled by Lukko, the goals scored by Stenqvist and Burke. But the second period, Genève-Servette took him a while, but eventually roaring back through goals by Filppula and Vatanen. We were tied on aggregate coming into the start of this second leg. We are tied at the end of the second period. Still everything to play for Genève-Servette and Lukko Rauma. As you see the season stats in European action for Valtteri Filppula. 530 career NHL points in more than 1,000 regular season games. Stanley Cup winner with the Detroit Red Wings in 2008 when he was also the Finnish Player of the Year. And it has been the Flying Finns for the Eagles who have kept them in touch with their Finnish hosts. With one period and possibly more still to go in this CHL second leg semifinal. The other game underway already in Skellefteå. It's 1-0 for Skellefteå on the night. Elias Salomonsson making it 5-2 on aggregate for the Swedes. So they are strongly favored as things stand to face the winner of this one. I'll say no more about the other game, depending if you are watching on delay and don't want to have the results spoiled for you. Apologies if that was a bit of an early blow for you in that regard. I know some of you like to record these things and watch them one after another. But 20 minutes of regulation to go as Lukko loses out on the face-off draw after a fashion, but they get the puck back straight away. Lukko in the blue home jersey skating from left to right. They come forward, but the puck just trickles to Giancarlo Chanton. And then the deflection sees the puck soaring into the stands for the first whistle of the third period. 24 shots to 14 in Geneva's favor. They only had a combined total of 43 shots in their two domestic games at the weekend. It was Lukko who had 76 shots between their wins over Ilves and Tappara. Banged around by Josh Brook. Olkinora got a touch to the left point, holding Roinanen. Vatanen there first defensively. Puck shoved along to Filppula. Lukko does clear, and they have some skaters coming up, but just offside. Right wing was Tieksula. Frustrating there for Fontaine. Jussi Olkinora, just the 12 saves through two periods. Shots on goal in the second period were 13-7 for Servette. Olkinora again does well in the trapezoid, reverses course to Kaurer. Kaurer gloves the puck down from Richard. That looked like a high stick. Play allowed to continue, and nearly a chance for Rod to burst in on goal. As touch back to the point. Rod trying to get a tip, but Gibson clutching the puck to his chest. It's Noah Rod, the former second-round NHL draft pick of the San Jose Sharks. He never really settled in North America, but has become an integral part of this history-making Genève-Servette club. Their first ever National League title last year, defeating Biel-Bienne 4-3 in the playoff finals. Club which was founded back in 1905 as Hartikainen turning, and did that puck go behind Christopher Gibson? Tangled up briefly as he made his way back in his crease. But Hartikainen, so dangerous tonight for Geneva. That was given away to Lukko as they try and respond to the flurry of pressure they've been under for most of the last, 20 minutes of game time. Back toward the early stages of the second period rather, when Geneva tried to take control. As this effort, glove save made by Okanora to deny Henry Ikonen. Ikonen, the former Jokerit player in the KHL, the Finnish club, now battling their way, trying to battle up the Finnish pyramid from the Mestis, the second division. We'll see how close they were potentially there. Apt hog-tying Bertagia. That could have been a penalty call potentially, but referees have tended to want play to continue here tonight. Just the 2 penalties called so far, 1 against each team. Bouncing puck. Gathered by Lukko, but given straight back to Filppula, and he, not sure who that pass was meant for. There wasn't anyone at the right point. So back it goes to Shanton with just over 2 minutes gone in the third. Filppula found again. Bank in deep as Krappland chases to the corner. Pouliot over there as well, but the puck retrieved to Tiexula for Lukko. Geneva making changes. Tiexula almost overskated. All those passes which weren't going tape to tape for Geneva for much of the game, they started to connect, and now it's Lukko with slightly sloppy play. Back at the point. It's turned in deep to Fontaine, but he loses out, and Rod backhands to the far side wall. Richard forward off his body. Spun around at Juris. Jan Caggiu mixing his lines up a bit here as Kehrer sandwiched between 2 blue sweaters, but still Geneva forward, but I think just offside was Richard along that right wing for Geneva. Tanner Richard's father briefly played for the Washington Capitals in the NHL. Richard never made it seriously in the NHL. He had a cup of coffee with the Tampa Bay Lightning 2016-17 season. 4 years in the American Hockey League with the Syracuse Crunch.
Calm down, boys, hey! Take it easy, take it easy. Yes, all the way.
Puck squeezed back by Lukko, and it's Stenqvist back to Abt. Looking near wing for Pontus Westerholm. The 2 Westerholm twins have been very quiet tonight. Pontus can't maneuver in front. Kehrer holding firm defensively. Pontus into the corner. Bumped by Manninen. Manninen currently credited with the assist on Vatanen's goal, but we know it was Hartikainen who actually made the key pass across to Vatanen, just as he earlier had found Filppula for Geneva's opener. And that's Cavallari in deep, the 4th line for Geneva. Instead, the other way comes Repo. He's been very quiet tonight by his lofty standards this season. Krannila bumped. And Geneva again with the puck. Up to Berton, who fires cross corner. Back from Maillard to the point. Played in front, and a kick save Gibson. Fairly straightforward, but you can't take anything for granted as crunch time approaches in the second leg of a European semifinal. Filppula gains the line, but couldn't hit Pouliot at the left point. Back out he comes. Puck returned to the Lukko zone. Geneva just looking a little bit hungrier at the moment. Shanton across the shot. They score! Filppula again with a tip in front. And Geneva, their first lead of the night. They are in front 5-4 on aggregate. What a fight back from the Eagles of Genève-Servette. Perfect pass from the point, and Vatanen, it got right through to Filppula. He made no mistake. And it's the third goal for Geneva tonight, scored by a Finnish player. And the second for Filppula. Only one goal in his previous 11 CHL games. He gets 2 tonight. And suddenly Lukko has to play from behind. 5:05 the time of the goal. And Vatanen now alongside Lakatos and Richard atop the CHL point scoring standings. And they want another here. Richard looking to release his teammate in front, but the pass never got there. Richard behind his net. Gets it to Kara, up to Rod. From the point, wild effort. All the way to the far side, Dasher. Lukko stung by these 3 Geneva goals in the space of 8 minutes of game time. Going back to the second period. Can they respond? Puck behind the net. Geneva just a little bit smarter and faster to everything. Trying to become that first Swiss team to reach a CHL final. 2 previous Finnish winners of this competition. Chance here, the shot didn't get through. Back at the left point, Roinanen. Banks for Kainalainen. Turns to the point, and Brook. Josh Brook toward the cage, but hit off a leg and went behind. Kainalainen touches to the point, Roinanen shoots, but that's an easy glove save for Okanora. And with 13:28 left in the third, we will take a timeout. Genève-Servette in front 3-2 on the night and 5-4 on aggregate over Lukko Rauma. Suddenly has gone very quiet at the Kivakulan Arena. The tip by Filppula, 39 years of age and still hungry for trophies. A lot of 30-somethings up and down this Genève-Servette roster. Jan Cadieux at 43 years of age is barely older than the likes of Filppula, Marc-Antoine Pouliot, age 38. Arnaud Jacquemin, age 35. Juris is 33. Vatanen, 32. Hartikainen, 33. Mannanen, 31. The captain, Noah Rod, is only 27, which is slightly strange. As the puck kicked out of play, is that going to be delay of game against LeCoute? Normally you see that called when a stick diverts the puck out of the arena surface. I don't think I've ever seen a player kick a puck straight out of his defensive zone out of play. You see LeCoute. Clean contact. Easy souvenir for that Lukko fan. Very strange one, but it is a penalty on Simon Lukko. Shake of the head, and no wonder. So Lukko 0 for 3 across the 2 semifinal legs on the power play against Genève-Servette. Can the Geneva penalty kill continue its sterling work this season? Puck falls kindly for the Eagles' clearance. Gibson settles the puck down. Forward comes Stenqvist, the defenseman leading the charge. Back to the point, and Repo. Repo and Stenqvist trading places. Puck in deep for Jandrik. But again, Geneva with the puck and the easy clearance down the ice. Stenqvist drops backwards. Repo toward the front of the net and swatted out of the air, but wide by Newman. Jacquemet can't clear. Stenqvist played in deep for Repo off the back wall. That was by Steven Jandrik. Newman returns. Pass coming toward the front of the net, but it's spotted and covered by Okanora at his feet. It was Tiexula. Apologies for the language from Steven Jandrik, who signed with Lukko from the Orlando Solar Bears of the ECHL on the 11th of December.
Everyone gets a free warning for everything today. Okay. Is that what you're feeling?
That one seemed like it was a warning.
Okay.
I feel like Tanner Richard is taking on some captaincy duties as you see that puck touched down by Jacquemet in the first instance. By the time it got over to Tiexula, it wasn't that much of a threat, but they win the face-off draw here. Back to Roinanen. 40 seconds left on the power play. Attempted clearance came off the back of Richard. Clumsy control by Burke off his skates. Does make its way back to the point, and Roinanen. Not sure what that was meant to be by Jami Kranila. That shot taken, but it goes wide from Pontus Westerholm. Lukko, 13% success rates in CHL power plays this season coming into this game. 18.5% in the Finnish Liga. That's only 11th among the top tier Finnish teams this season. And not much time remaining as Richard wins a key draw and another clearance. That will see out most of the power play and the penalty to Lukko. As Roinanen dishes far side, but great coverage across the width of the ice by Geneva's penalty killers, and back comes Lukko. He skate 5 aside, and I think that's icing against Lukko. A little bit of insult added to injury. And again, the hush. And he's disbelieving Lukko Rauma fans. And they have gone deep into this competition several times before. We mentioned the semifinal in 2016, quarterfinalists in 2014 and 2021. As we get a whistle. Lukko lost to Red Bull Munich in the 2021 quarterfinals, 4-3 on aggregate in overtime. It's 5-4 on aggregate to Genève-Servette. It's the same scoreline that they went out in the semifinals 8 seasons ago. Draw one to Bertagia for Geneva as we approach the halfway mark of this third period. Shuffle toward the front of the net, poking Mannanen. Hartikainen again setting the play up, and Gibson eventually pouncing.
Don't grab it behind. Don't grab it behind. Thank you.
Geneva, the heart of a champion. Mannanen just couldn't get clean contact on the puck when it was potentially there for him to get a shot off. Right there the second time. Draw one back to Vatanen. Geneva slightly better at faceoffs in this game than their Finnish hosts. Puck played across, but Hartikainen missed out on what could have at least been a half chance. It certainly looks and feels for the moment as though Servette is more likely to score the next goal in this game than Lukko. Repo to take the face-off draw here against Filppula. This draw squeezed back to the point, and Lekoots gets the return pass from Praplan, who could not fire in front. Filppula won the puck, but Lukko coming back through Apt. Spun around was Kranila, no penetration there. Lekoot gets a face full of glass, but holding his ground. Worked across to Repo, back to the point, chance here, maybe Apt shoots. Where was the puck? It came to the near wall. Puck wound around near side. Repo, good hands in the trapezoid, trying to get a shot off, and it goes behind the nets. Clever poke by Lekoots. Puck eluding Jacquemet. 9:38 left in regulation. Geneva in front by one, both on the night and on aggregate, as Filppula clears. Praplan deciding not to give chase, instead goes to the bench for a change. And will Geneva start to become a bit more passive, trusting to keep Lukko out of their net, get through to that first CHL final for any Swiss domestic club? A lot of money in the Swiss game these days. They've really underperformed their clubs at European level. Little bump there by Richard. I don't think that was enough to merit a penalty call. So Lukko must build from the back through Stenqvist. He instead goes to the bench for a change and whacks his stick into the half boards in frustration. Getting outshot 29-18. You see Geneva winning the majority of the face-off draws in the game. And offside now against Lukko. You see Braden Burke. When he scored their second goal tonight, it certainly looked as though Lukko was in the box seat. To get to the CHL final on the 20th of February. It'll be a Tuesday final again this season. They tried the Saturday final last year in Luleå, deciding that midweek makes more sense. It's when all of the CHL games are played during the season, apart from the first 2 weeks before any of the domestic leagues across Europe have started. And his good hands, Hartikainen, he's bumped down. Again, no penalty. Geneva wins the puck back. Skating forward is Tim Berni. Goes long, that'll be icing. Errant pass from Berni. As you see, Sakari Manninen. By the way, Filppula's goal, the assist to Vatanen and Shanton. So another point in this semi-final for Giancarlo Shanton. He had only one CHL point in the regular season and up through and including the second leg of the quarterfinals, and he's doubled that tally in these 2 games as Filppula now 2-on-1. Filppula drags back looking for the hat trick, but Gibson denies him. Time for one last break at the Kivikulon Arena. Genève-Servette now so close to reaching the CHL final in February.
Just send best Lukko to the Champions Hockey League using Facebook Messenger.
Forecheck, esattamente, tu rimani sopra, questo è perfetto. Vedi, non hanno niente, dopo devono provare, è perfetto, giusto, dai, Gioca, 7 minuti, finisci. Artsy, good job on the forecheck, on that set forecheck. And Manny, perfect, you guys stay back. Alessio,
Glum faces on the fans in the crowd as you see Valtteri Filppula dragging the puck back around Samuli Piipanen. Couldn't quite find a corner of the net with his shot. If you were with us through that TV timeout, you will have heard Jan Cadieux speaking in Italian to Alessio Bertaggia on the Genève-Servette bench. Quickly switching to English, he speaks good French, and I believe he's decent at German as well. It's the life of being a hockey coach in this polyglot country of Switzerland. Don't think he has to know Romansh to be good at the job, but it's the 4th official language of Switzerland. As Geneva still looking the likelier team to score the next goal. It's from the point. Lacoute, the bouncing puck. Just wide, not sure if that was a tip from Filppula. In front, puck is still loose. Filppula couldn't see it or reach it. And Lacoute must backtrack. 7 minutes left in this third period. That's the amount of time between Geneva and a European final. What a crowning achievement it would be for so many of the players involved here. Getting Geneva their first ever title in their 118-year existence just this past spring. But it's not over yet. Lukko forward through Burke. Across the chance. Didn't really materialize. To Yaxula as that long shot gloved down by Okanora, and rather than releasing quickly, settles to get the whistle. Okanora, the only shutout in CHL finals history, credited to him. 2-0 win over Vekwa Lakers when he was playing with Jypia Veskala. Got off to a solid start, then was rocked by the 2 goals in 5 minutes 15 seconds from Stenqvist and Burke, both of which were not the most impossible shots to stop, put it that way. But he and his teammates have tightened their games up. And it's now Lukko searching for an equalizer. It's Pontus Westerholm trying to free himself from behind the net. Forced wide to the corner off the bump from Carrer. Centered, and no stick along the ice there. Chance might have been there for Kainulainen. Lukko still trying their luck, and Okanora didn't know where it was. It came off the inside of his left leg, I think. Now Brook at the right point. Can't get cleanly around Noah Rod, so forces around far side to Roinanen. He plays in front. And Okanora tried to seal the puck against the side of the cage, but couldn't. Kainalainen in the touch. Plays back to the point. Roinanen. Brook. Fires wide. No one sees it. Roinanen. Shot fake. Holds. Shoots, but that was diverted. Crowd starting to come back alive with some extended Lukko pressure in the Geneva zone, but tied up well along the boards. Puck not moving anywhere. Brook, the Lukko player in the center of that scrum. And away with the puck came Rod, and his slow backhanded clearance lets Geneva make some player changes. 4:47 remaining in the third, inside the final 5 minutes of this CHL semifinal. It would have been offside. Bertagia twisting to the far wall, and Hartikainen. He returns the favor. Bertagia beyond Hartikainen, but Jacquemin did well. Piipanen. He was beaten to the puck by Manninen. Bertagia. He finds Lecoute. Bertagia at the point. A shot off the body of Gibson. The other way, that puck deflected over the glass and out of play as Okanora spilled. Bertagia the shove across, and it came off the shoulder, I think, of Gibson. This was the chance for Roinanen, the shot fake, and then came through the legs of Richard. Could have gone anywhere. As we see a draw to the left of Okanora, who you'll recall started this season with the Pelicans of Lahti in the Finnish Liga. He has played Lukko in domestic action this season before the CHL semifinal. He played in the CHL for the Pelicans as well. And now his only thought, his only job is to keep Lukko off the board, as that was nearly a trip, and then play allowed to continue. Lukko firing wide. Apt far side. Makes no progress. Clearance down the ice. The crowd hooting. And Stenqvist all the way back behind his net. Onside Lukko in that left wing. Played around to Tiexila, but beaten to the puck by Bernie. Gets the puck forward, and now out of the zone. A race for the puck. It's going to be won by Kainalainen. But only 3:03 left in regulation. Pontus Westerholm. Losing his stick was Roinanen. He was complaining there should have been a slash call there against Geneva, but again, referees have been consistent, trying not to call penalties if they can at all refuse to do so. Brook the pass. Kainalainen below the goal line to the defenseman Brook. And back at the point, forced out to center ice. Westerholm has to twist, and now he goes off for a change with only 2.5 minutes remaining. How soon will Gibson be pulled for an extra Lukko skater? Played in deep. Vatanen. Such a good game after recovering from illness at the weekend. Stenqvist banks in deep. Vatanen will again retrieve for Geneva. Vatanen to the near side wall looking for Manninen, and support coming forward from Praplan. Praplan inside the final 2 minutes now. Fontaine doesn't want to be in his own corner. Lukko now can't try to break up through Repo. Might be a chance to get Gibson off the ice, although the puck is stolen. Flipped long. It comes to the defenseman there with Gibson out of the net. It's all or nothing now for Lukko Rauma, with Fontaine dishing across, and 1:27 between Geneva and the CHL final. Tiexila back to the point. Roinanen. Roinanen shoots. Went wide. Stenqvist Back at the point, Roinen again. Shoots, again wide. Then the backhander, nearly gloved out of the air, and right on the doorstep, puck still loose, it just trickled wide. Olkinora did not make a clean stop, but we're inside the final minute. Whew. Left point, Roinen again. Now Stenqvist. Wrister blocked. .42 seconds left. Roinen and dog tired at the end of a shift, but still he persists. They can't get the puck in cleanly. We will have a center ice face-off draw coming up with 34 seconds all that remains. Watch the flurry here. Olkinora, the puck went behind him, and how close was that? Maybe not quite a matter of inches, but it was just a foot wide as timeout taken by Lukko.
Tase täällä taas, this way. Fontsi, face off, Sebu. One D only here. 2 Ds like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I'll go like that.
Yeah. Right away, hey. This.
Yes.
Try to put it here. Tare. Hi, Tare. Try to find this pass. This pass, because they think you put it here. This spot, okay?
Genève-Servette 31 shots on goal to Lukko's 21. They have rallied from a 2-0 deficit here tonight to lead 3-2 with barely half a minute remaining for Lukko to find an equalizer. Gibson still off the ice even with the neutral zone faceoff draw coming up. It's Fontaine against Juris. Juris wins the draw cleanly. Bouncing puck, held up at the line by Roinen. 26 seconds left as Lukko back into the Geneva zone. Jacquemet trying to hold things up. A cluster of bodies behind the cage. 18 seconds, Richard turns, clears, but that'll be icing. Whistle blows with 11.5 seconds left. Geneva so close. Can Lukko find a face-off win? And an improbable third goal of the night. Again, it's Richard to take the draw. Against Repo. It's all or nothing here, surely, for Lukko Rauma. Face-off draw, push back. Jacquemet can hold. 6 seconds left. Geneva pushes the puck to center ice, and for the first time, a Swiss club will play in the Champions Hockey League final. What a comeback for the reigning Swiss champions. Genève-Servette will face either Skellefteå or Vitkovica on the 20th of February. It was a win forged by Finnish players both in goal and at the other end of the rink. The goals scored, 2 by Valtteri Filppula, 1 by Sami Vatanen, and Jussi Olkinora, the winning goaltender, all in their home country. And Genève-Servette, 3-2 winners on the night, 5-4 up on aggregate. I'm Darren Kilfera. Thanks for being with us from the Kivikulon Arena in Rauma. Genève-Servette making history through to the CHL final. So long, everyone.
Tomi Lämsä, tiukka taistelu takana. Mitkä on sulla päällimmäiset mietteet pelistä?
No totta kai valtava pettymys, että me uskottiin, että meillä on mahdollisuus Servette voittaa ja kuitenkin tulos kääntyi näin päin, niin valtava pettymys tietysti.
Pitkään se näyttikin siltä, että pystytte Genèven voittamaan. Mitkä oli ne asiat, mitkä lopulta käänsi ottelun vierasjoukkueelle?
No ei me ihan päästy tänään missään vaiheessa parhaimpaa, että vastustaja oli erittäin hyvä, kova kamppailujoukkue, suoraviivainen, taitavia pelaajia ja kyllä me olisi pitänyt pystyä kiekolla pelaamaan tänään paremmin ja rytmittämään vähän omaa pelaamista, että lähdettiin vähän siihen heidän pelimoodiin ja se tiedetään, että kuinka hyviä he on siinä, niin sen takia tuli vähän vaikeaa ja kyllä tietysti rehellisyyden nimi, niin maalit tuli meille aika nopeasti ja aika helposti, että se lähti tietysti antoi suuntaa pelille, mutta kuitenkin ylpeä joukkueesta, että paljon pelaajia pois taas ja kesken pelin ottelutapahtuma 2 uutta pelaajaa putosi ja muutama pelaaja oli tänään ekan kerran pitkän tauon jälkeen, saatiin rivin mukaan ja näin, että siihen nähden niin tosi ylpeä kyllä joukkueen suorituksesta. Kiitos.
Jan Kadio, congratulations. How would you summarize this game?
Well, the first 20 minutes we didn't come out the way we wanted, and they were better than us for the first 20 minutes. But then in the second period we started to take over. We applied more pressure on them, and I think the last 40 minutes we controlled the game and we were the better team overall.
Next there is final coming up. What are you going to take away from this game when approaching the final?
Well, the character we showed, I think going down 2-0 in this building wasn't easy, but at the end we came back, so we showed a lot of character and a lot of pride and a lot of will to win, and that's what we got. It's going to be a final, so that's what we have to put on the ice for the final game.
You are the first ever Swiss team in the finals. How are you feeling about that?
Well, that's just stats. It doesn't mean anything. At the end, we're here because we want to win, and that's the only thing that matters. Thank you.